Today we're gonna get right into it. It's gonna be a fairly quick one here today. Music Fit Mondays for everybody tuning in or watching this on the replay. Thank you so much. I wanted to just do a little pilot run and see how everybody responds to just coming on live, having some guests on, talking some game on basically anything to do with creative sustainability. We've got a cool lineup here for today. It's just going to be me for today. We're going to talk about these. If you're in Calgary, you know exactly. Actually, most cities probably have the same kind of thing. You don't want to see too many of these. Parking authority. I got 9 in my hand. Came to about $1,000 in fines that I negotiated my way out of completely, which is one thing I'd like to talk about here today in regards to how does that make sense for an artist? What does that mean? Like, well, it's negotiating. It's like understanding how your language can work with you or against you. And that is a huge, huge central focus on most of my, if not all of my coaching. When I'm working with artists, when I'm working with athletes, when I'm working with entrepreneurs, founders, their headspace plays a real big role. Their belief system, their whole thing really dictates, no matter how talented they are, whether they get to that next level. So we'll touch on that negotiation wizardry. Today, I also got great news. I think that the camera is flipped again, but maybe not. So if you can read that, cool. If not, it says the Music Fit Underground Field Manual. We're streaming straight into Substack here today. So very excited. Shout out to Little Rock Printing here in Calgary, Alberta, to put this thing together in one business day, quite literally. They put this whole thing. I've got the proof here today. This is the next book. This is going to be the ticket for panels. Also, any podcasts. I'm going to be talking extensively on the terms and definitions because I understand how difficult it is to wrap our heads around something such craziness of creative sustainability. I understand that's a very foreign thing to many of us creatives, and it's something that I've been kicking at since the release of my first book, which I don't have on me, of course. It's around the corner. This is a field guide for the artists who refuse to burn out. For the artists who are looking for another way through the music industry, this is something that I just started realizing. For any type of movement to start, we have to have a common language. And that is what I set out on this quest. So we'll talk extensively about that. First thing, the title today is How to Talk Yourself Out of and Into Anything. I know it sounds insane. I'm going to come back to something I say time and time again, every single session for at least the first 2 weeks. When I'm onboarding somebody new into the Music Fit method. The way that we articulate our thoughts is through language, the words that we choose to use, both out there to the people around us and also right back to us and inside our old brain here with the words that we say about ourselves, typically not so kind. Now, when we think about that, if all the words that we use to articulate our thoughts, if they pile up into a big old stack of pancakes, we've got what's known as a belief system. Now, that belief system is exactly what carries out all of our actions. And if anybody's heard me before, I'll say this till I'm going to die on this hill for sure. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, is that if you're unhappy about where you are in life, your outcomes, your actions, you first must examine the belief system that you're subscribed to. Yes, subscribed, just like Amazon Prime. You can unclick that box. And that belief system is, as we just discussed, rooted in the words that we choose to use. Now, before I go any further, because I'm getting a little parched, wanted to announce the sponsor for today's show. Woo! My favorite. We got the Booch, babe. I've got very little bit left. I should have saved this. Lindy is a dear friend of mine, and she makes the most ballin'. I think this is a mango coconut or pineapple coconut, one of those two. It is unbelievable, but you got to be careful, as you probably heard. This thing, when she's loaded, this thing could take your head off. Booch Babe, local Calgary kombucha. This is my choice drink for tonight. Oh yeah, that's so good. I'll make sure somewhere on here I've got a link to go get some Booch Babe kombucha. So good. All natural. That's another goal with the whole creative sustainability, is that so much of our lifestyle is dictated around the booze scene, and we're starting to see a really cool trend right now. I am, anyways. It might be because I'm looking for it, or I initiated it, one or the other, maybe a little bit of both. The tendency for people to do dry concerts or alternate beverages that actually fuel the performance. So things like non-alcoholic beers are becoming really popular, and we know that because they're more expensive now. They're more expensive than a regular beer. Go figure. Even like club soda, that's a better, healthier alternative. Throw some lime in there if you're at a show before the show. It's the only profession where it's written in as like unwritten code that it's part of the agreement, which I never signed up for. And that's the thing. The field manual that I'm going to come back to it discusses this. It's all the things that I've seen over the last, 20 years of doing this, that I said, well, what if there was another way? Because that's part of the negotiation thing. The whole theme of tonight is how to get what you want. And part of that is negotiating. Just because it hasn't happened is a shitty ass excuse for it not to happen. And I had a great mentor who still good friend of mine, Ryan Walla, still always says this: if there's something in your life that isn't there yet, it's most likely because you have yet to create it. Paraphrased, of course. That's what he told me way back in the day. I'm sure many people have told me that too. I am one of those trend setters, or unfortunately, I seem to be the one that has to, carve the path, and it's hard. But I hope that by the end of my time here, we've got a better music ecosystem, because if we think about creativity, and this is regardless if you're an artist or not, if you think about creativity from a lens of problem solving, if we are encouraged to create art or craft or whatever it may be, if we're encouraged to create from a place of peace, yet then when we go out and perform, it becomes chaos and unsustainable. There's this discrepancy between the two. Why is it okay, and why is it like, let's do this artist retreat and get our writing out, and then we grind out a tour for 10 days and try to pack 7 shows in 10 days, and we're driving in between. So it's bonkers to me. And I had a great conversation with a band called Casador. If you guys are not turned on to them yet, you're welcome. Check them out. Casador, one of my new favorite bands. These guys are fantastic and really, really cool homies. They sat down with me. Their podcast, their episode, their whatever it is, TV show will come out this Friday. I'm very excited for it. I'm going through the edits right now. It's so good. And they said something really interesting. They're going over to the UK. I made the absurd assumption like they'd have some downtime to go and catch some football or like check out the UK since they're from here. No, they're literally, I think they have 2 days off. They're over there for 10 dates and they have 2 days off. They're barely even there for 2 weeks. It's bonkers, because why on earth? Oh, I lost my screen. Hang on. I need to see. I hope you guys can still see me. If not, oh, no, there we are. Okay, we're back. Let's not make that happen again. If you guys are seeing everything, give them a little like in the little. There's like a little love button here. Look at that. I can do it. You guys can do it. I'm sure. If you can't, that's okay. It looks like we're back right now. Anyway, where was I? Talking about Castledor. You go to write and record this beautiful album, or maybe you're an artist and you do this beautiful painting, and then you've got to sell it. And there's this like hustle mindset, and there's this go, 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 go. Well, what if we just paused and that wasn't what we actually wanted? Maybe we wanted to do something else. And that's what the point is here today. How to talk yourself out of tickets and into anything that you could possibly imagine. Anything at all. Holy smokes, how cool is that? Let me just fix it looks like the phone. I had to go with the phone today, and it looks like it's fuzzing out on me, according to, whoosh. Okay, I hope that's better for you guys. It's looking better on my screen. I was fuzzing out. So let's talk about an exercise, because I'm all about practical. We can talk till we're blue in the face about the actual thing. My favorite word of recent memory, I hope you guys can see this. It looks backwards to me, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Creative sustainability. I'm going to read this out because this is one of my new favorite terms that I would love to speak on a panel or talk extensively on podcasts with. Creative sustainability, a noun. The ability to create, perform, and grow over time without burnout, built through aligned output, recovery, and environment. How to use it in a sentence. Talent gets you noticed. Sustainability, creative sustainability, keeps you here. And I had this thought, well, what if? That's my favorite way to play this game. So take whatever you're doing and whatever you're kind of pissed off about, because here's the fact. If you're just going to gripe and moan about things and not actually willing to do the work to make a change, because I know it sounds ridiculous, but when you start, like me, I've been doing this for, this is the 10, shit, I wrote my book, 2017 is when it really, 2015 I started it, came out just, I was ready by 2016. I waited until my 30th to release it. So that's like, yeah, we're coming up on 10 years. So this is like more than 10 years overnight success. It takes some time, guys. If there is something in your life that you are upset with and you think there should be a better way, for me, it's the artist wellness, the epidemic of sick people, sick artists, and a terrible ecosystem that just doesn't work for sustainability. I'm going to go and try to make it, because I had this thought. I said, well, what if? What would it look like? And I literally wrote it down many, many times now. But what I would encourage you to do is take a look at what is that big thing. And then what if is your starter. That's your prompt. You're going to write down the words, what if? And it could be a relationship issue that like you're stuck in this relationship. Well, what if I was not stuck in this relationship? Better said, what if I was in another relationship? What if I had the relationship I wanted? Or for somebody who is creative block, what if I was able to write a song tonight? What if I just wrote one line? And you just start writing this what if, and then you go all the way down the page. What if, what if, what if? And we tend to what if all the bad stuff. That's our natural tendency. That's our defense mechanism. That's what protected us and kept us safe away from the tigers. The challenge is there are no friggin' tigers anymore. There's no tigers eating us. And we've got to understand that if we want change, we have to start looking down a different way. The reticular activating system is a very interesting part of the brain. I think of it as the bouncer to the club. So if your mind and your thoughts and everything that's going on inside the noggin is like a club, your reticular activating system, also known as the RAS, is there to be like the bouncer. It lets the good stuff in, the stuff that you're thinking about, and it keeps the bad stuff out, the stuff that you're not thinking about. So when we think about that, a great example is don't think about the pink elephant. What are you thinking about? Most likely, 9 times out of 10, everybody's like the pink elephant, obviously. Well, I said, don't think about it. Here's the challenge with most people that are broke. They say, I can't live like this anymore. Can't believe it's Friday, for the people who are excited for the weekend. Well, said another way is, I'm so excited for the weekend, and then we're not, because it is Friday. Can you believe it? Yes, is the answer. The tangent I'm going off on is that when the reticular activating system is geared towards the things that we want, such as a relationship that actually means something to us, or an artist who makes money through their music or their craft. Those are things that we like, yet we spend so much time talking about all the things that we don't want. Like that's the negation. That's part of conflict language that a lot of people do not understand, that the fastest way to talk yourself into stupid shit is by using your language. Like that's the secret. There you go. Tarantino that. How do you talk yourself into and out of? Use your words. One of the ways is what if. That's a great exercise. So I'm going to let you guys sit with that one. I'm going to give you 3 different drills. Looking at, this is a really tricky one, and a lot of people, I get hard buy-in on this one, so bear with me on this. We just talked briefly about the use of what is known as a negation. A negation is a word that we say don't, can't, won't. It negates everything beforehand. Have you ever heard, maybe back in high school now, do you remember getting an assignment back from the teacher or some feedback from a friend? Hey, that was a really great, my parents, that was a really great game, but, and you're like, oh, you forget everything that they just said because that but comes in, and now the only thing you're focused on is the negative. But is the easiest and also the sneakiest negation you can possibly have. So if you're looking for a fast track on how to talk yourself into or out of anything at all, the first thing I recommend is, of course, the what if game, and then the but. Change all of your buts to ands. And when you do that, because it's just a conjunction, it's just a joining word. When we say something, try this, okay? If you don't believe me, here's the proof. Write it down. Write out, great work today, but next time, could you be a little bit more, I don't even know. I'm just making it up on the spot. Next time, could you be a little more on time? Something like that. Think of a real life situation where the last time you used the word but. I know we use it so much that it's very, very difficult to pick out the last time because it's just part of most of our language. Think back to the last time that you used that but, and then write out that sentence. Great job today, but next time, be a little more on time. Cool. Then read that out loud. Breathe in, nice and deep. Big, long exhale. Make it audible. This is all part of the drill. And then let me know what comes up. What do you feel when you read that? What do you feel in your body? What somatic response, what sensation, what feeling do you have in your body when that happens? Make a note, literally write it down. Then scratch the but out and replace it with and. Read it out loud again and let me know, even in the comments, or if you're watching this on replay, just make a comment. Did anything change? Most people will notice something happened. They will feel better, generally speaking, with the and, because it joins the phrase, like just listen to it. Great work today, and next time, could you be a little more on time? You're saying the exact same thing. You just switched one word. And it just makes all the difference. It's so interesting. Language is the coolest thing. And if you get into the habit of using the and instead of the but, and what ifing the good stuff, because you'll start to look down at all the opportunities that you have as opposed to all of the catastrophes that you have. What if I forget the words? What if I mess up my guitar strum? What if I forget how to play that part? Blah, 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 blah. What if you don't? What if you have a perfect friggin' show? What if you remember exactly what was supposed? What if you get asked for another encore? Like, think of all the cool stuff that could possibly happen, because you're sitting there at a crossroads, and either option is completely 100% possible. So why are you catastrophizing? Like, I just don't understand it. If you have an opportunity to create your own reality, and I'm going to be doing lots of content on this on the old Instagram over the course of this week, on the mindset of artists and founders and people who really they are really risk adverse. They have to go do stuff that their paycheck really depends on it, and if they get stuck in a creative swamp, I call it, when they're in writer's block mode, that can be really devastating, because your music and your shows and your albums and all of the merch stuff that comes with it, completely reliant, right? So those are two games. Okay, we can play the but to and we can play the what if. The last one I wanted to play and just mention, and we can do this in depth. I'm going to be hosting some webinars, some virtual workshops on this, so we can get a bunch of people together in a virtual room and do some breakouts and work through these types of things, because they're real. The third one is the soft talk challenge. If you've ever had a goal, or if you've ever had a friend who was fashionably late all the time, and I know it's an epidemic in the music industry. I used to be that guy. I used to be the ish guy. I used to use that word like it was going out of style. Yeah, that's good-ish. That's good enough. I'll be there by 7-ish. Oh my God, can you imagine? There's a reason my start dates are at 7:07. Okay. Get some more booch in you. I will be there by 7:07 versus I think I'll make it around 7-ish. Who are you putting your money on? First guy or second guy? It's an obvious answer for me. What if but to end soft talk challenge? Write down your second quarter goal, because we're coming up at the end here, to the end of Q1. April 1st is technically the start of the new year in my books. We just passed the equinox as well, which is great. I think that's the one. Yeah, equinox, spring equinox. Yeah. Solstice? No, that's the summer thing. Megan will know. Yes. So the start of the new year here, April 1st. So think of, what goal do you, keep it short, keep it sweet. What goal do you have? If you have to, take it down to the first week. This week, this is Monday. Take it down to what's one thing that you would like to accomplish this week. Think about that. Maybe it's, I like the 3 zones, like a health goal, a finance or career goal, making money, making bank, or like a relationship. That can be yourself, or just a personal goal, or it can be a relationship outside of you as well. Think about what goal, pick one of those areas to narrow it down. You can do more later, and pick one for now. And write out, in 90 days or at the end of the week, or whatever your time frame is, by the end of the week, I will blank. Write that down. And then, actually, I've got on the other side, uno momento. I'm going to grab something. as you can hear me ripping things off of walls. I hope this will, oh man, there. I hope I forgot. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Somebody tell me, somebody in the comments tell me, is this backwards? Because it looks backwards to me. This was a great idea until I realized the mirror. Oh my goodness. Technical difficulties. You can tell I'm a drummer. Hey, my drummer is coming through strong. I will figure this out by the third go. 3 times a charm, right? I totally just got the craving. Super fun. I'm having far too much fun. I don't promote these things. Anybody that watches it is just gonna be like, who is this guy? Which is great. That list is a list of a bunch of words, a short list to the soft talk words. Should, kinda, maybe, possibly. What else I got on there? Sort of, ish, almost like, think, potentially, might, perhaps. There's probably more out there. Probably, I already just said that. These words are soft. 10 ply. Fucking 10 ply, bud. I gotta get that plug in again. I used to have that on my pad for podcasts and for coaching. It's a really nice pattern interruption. If we think about these words for a moment, I think this week I want to maybe clean my bedroom versus this week I'm going to clean my bedroom. Point made. Soft talk decreases the likelihood of you getting the thing done because it gives you subconscious permission to back out. And hear me right, there's a time and a place where that can be used. Most often, when we want to get things done, I'm talking leadership teams, bands. Can you imagine a bunch of like 4 guys sitting around, girls, guys, sitting around going like, what do you want to do? Well, I think I want to make some music today. Well, what do you think you want to play it on? Like, well, we should maybe like and it happens. The thing is, it sounds insane when you say it, and it happens all the time. I am weird. I go out into social settings just to observe and really listen to conversations. I'll be reading a book and I'll hear somebody talk about working out. And yeah, I think I'm just going to, try to get back into going maybe 3 or 4 times a week again, maybe. And those just like drop every third word as a soft talk word. And I'm sitting there going like, that homie is not going to get to the gym. He's putting on a good face just for his friend, or maybe it's a date or something. I don't know. It's certainly not going to get done. That's for damn sure. Okay, so take a look at that goal that you set for yourself for this week. This week, I want to that. And now pepper in some of your favorite pieces of soft talk. Should, maybe, kind of, possibly. I think I might maybe, layer it in. Read both and see which one you like better. That's totally your preference. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's like, I really like this soft talk one. Oh no, I lost my screen again. Come back. I wonder why it does that. We are finding all the technical difficulties here today, guys. I hope that you guys can still at least hear me. Yeah, we're back. My goodness. And it didn't look like it went out. Okay. Anyway, soft talk, powerful stuff. Write it down, read it out. That's the steps. Anytime you come across something that's like, freaks you out, we call it the triage. Take it to the body. Notice what's happening in your body when you have this experience, where it comes up, and on a scale of 1 to Justin Bieber, that's a 10 in numerical terms. How intense is that sensation. Write that down, carry on about your day. Come back to it and then be like, okay, the first time I felt like that was, and then you can start making a playlist of songs, because you're going to name that moment, that first time. You're going to have a whole bunch of different moments, like a playlist, like an album playlist. And that is the start of the process of what I call story work. That's part of the Music Pit method. So enough about all that. You've got 3 different games to play that'll help you get whatever you want or get out of whatever you want. And this is how I use that with some other blended negotiation skills, because I got out of 9 tickets that I had, and then the Justice of Peace today was so kind too. He was going through, he was double checking, triple checking, doing his job like a boss. And I was just sitting there patiently on the other side of the glass, just being me. And he goes, hey, I found another one here that's not in the list. I'm just going to go quick check to make sure that the and he came back and a good minute, and give him 2 minutes or whatever. He came back. He's like, okay, we're just going to wipe them all. I was like, I did not even ask for that. And that's the Tarantino effect. I did not even ask. I did not, at one point, I never said, I would like you to waive all of these. I didn't say anything. I literally did not. I asked a bunch of questions, and question-like things, I'll explain later, that got him to feel like he was doing me an absolute service. And he was. Like, dude's a legend. That was far. I was prepared to pay like half. I was like, man, today is going to be an expensive day. That's like $1,000 right there. And you just waived them all. Now, here's what happened. Some intel, some things, some strategies, and some tactics, because strategy is the big game. Tactics are the technical things that you learn. So I'm going to give you the strategy. The strategy is make the other person feel like they're the only person in the room. And that's just good strategy to be a good person, I personally think. If you can put the other person up and genuinely ask curious questions about their day, for instance, or about their life, that breaks up the monotony of what they're usually doing, especially if it's a work setting for them, right? I have gotten onto flights without a ticket. That's right. Flights without a ticket on that flight with skills like this. I have now, this is a good one monetarily. I have now saved myself thousands of dollars in parking fines that I was sure to have to pay. And we can get into it on another day of why they actually showed up. Believe it or not, you cannot park in front of your own home. According to Calgary. It's blasphemy. And that was part of my strategy today. I went in, and it started as soon as I walked into the courtroom. I saw because they have that little desk that has to check you in before you go to see security. They have like security before security. It's wild. It's the courts downtown. So I go in, and I'm all smiles, and how are you today? Oh my goodness. It's great. It's Monday. Thank you so much. And what's your, okay, cool. Callie was the front desk girl. She was a cutie. She was so nice. She was so sweet. It was Monday, and she was just all smiles. What can I help you with today? Oh, okay. Well, first of all, I'd love to know what's been the highlight of your day so far. Immediate pattern disruption. I didn't go into like talking about what I need. I said, Callie, I'd love to know before we get there. I'd love to know what's been the highlight. And it slowed her down. She actually had to think. She goes, I don't know. I just got started. So it's like, it's just getting going. So it's been good so far. Checking people in, I guess. She gave me an answer, which is what usually happens most times when I say this. People do not have an answer, which is kind of the point. And sad when you think about it, is that nobody actually asks them how they're doing or what the best part of their day has been. But again, keeping to what we just talked about, I'm trying to take them out of the shit. I'm trying to get them to look over here. What's been the highlight of your day? You work on a high stress, customer facing, usually grumpy customers going to the courts. I don't know too many people that are pumped about, yeah, let's go get a divorce or whatever they're doing. Let's go fight our ex or what. I don't know what happens at the courts. Bad shit. So just bringing that person up and getting them to look at what's been the best part, and it worked. So she, how about you? I was like, well, I'm about to have the best day of my life. I've got all of these. And she goes, holy smokes, are they all for the same place? I'm like, yeah, we got to talking. And I started explaining. I'm like, these are all, believe it or not, Callie, in front of my own home. Can you believe that? Like, how am I supposed to? And this is where I'm going. How am I supposed to come down here and not have a party when I got a bunch of tickets for parking in front of my own home? What would you do? And I very strategically asked a how and a what. Those are calibrated questions. Why? We don't have time for that. The how am I supposed to? That is such a great put yourself in my shoes kind of question. How am I supposed to even, because now she's immediately like, I don't even know what to do. She starts thinking, well, if I had, and I said, what am I, and it was perfect. She's like, and she started laughing like uncontrollably. It was hilarious. She starts going, oh my God, that's hilarious. I have not seen that in my entire time. I've been doing this for a while. How many tickets do you have? And we just started having this great conversation. I was like, 9 so far. I might see you next week with more. I don't know. And she was just having a great time. So she's like, right over there, they'll help you at security. You're going to want to go check up to level 2, go check out the justice piece. There's no line up there. You'll get in really nice and quick. And I'm like, thank you so much, Callie. Make it a great day. Another point right there. Make it a great day. That is action, affirmative action, not have a nice day. Oh, have, that's subjective. That's like implying somebody else is going to create that for me. If I make it a good day, I'm in full control, boss. So that's what I say to people, especially my baristas. They're starting to get used to it though over at Starbucks though. Make it a great day. Like, you too, Mike. You make it a good day first. That's so funny. So Callie gets me through security, same thing. What's been the highlight of your day? And they're like, oh man, your energy. And I was like, yeah, I didn't get that security guy's name because I had a lineup. So I didn't want to, you got to be selective sometimes. So I unload all my stuff. They asked me the typical standard laptop, and I felt like I was at the airport. I was like, nope, got nothing here. Just a whole bunch of tickets. Just made everybody know exactly what I was doing here. And they're like, where? I'm like, where can I put these? They're extremely heavy. Like, they probably need their own little box. And I was just making jokes all day. It was like 9:30 in the morning, and people were probably like, who is this fucking guy? Anyway, we get through. As a breeze, it's like 10 seconds through security. I just walk in and I double step, like I'm flying up the stairs. I don't take the escalator. I don't take the elevator. I flew up the stairs. And then I almost went up to the 3rd floor, forgetting that the 2nd floor is literally the 1st floor up. So I like hit the 1st one and I pump the brakes, pull back, go around the corner. And I'm like, okay, sweet. Justice of peace. Here we go. And I sit and I'm observing. Before I get into the situation and get caught off guard, I'm looking, okay, we got 2 counter clerks. We got 2 people waiting. One guy goes in to the one counter clerk. I know I'm basically next in line. So I'm sitting around and they call me up. Exactly the same treatment. He goes, how are you today, sir? I'm like, I'm about to make your day real, real bad. And that is just the best kind of, what is called as an accusation. It's taking the severity of the situation and just making it really like, I am gonna be your worst nightmare. And then anything under that, because he's going like, yeah, right, man. You don't know what I do for a living. you don't know nothing. He goes, oh, okay. Is everything all right? Like, absolutely not. I've had better days. I've got 10 of these tickets. And would you believe it if I told you, my friend, and then I stop mid-sentence because I'm like, wait a minute, before I even get into this, I'm so rude. What's been the highlight of your day? And what's your name? Abu. Abu. He had a little name tag. His name is Abu. Like is that the monkey? The monkey from Aladdin? he wasn't a monkey. He was the nicest guy. He's like, he just like froze. Yeah, I don't know. He was very shy. There's a reason he's a clerk. He admin. So he didn't really give me much of a thing to play off of. So I kept on going. I was like, okay, that's cool, man. I mean, this will probably be your best part of the day then. So I carry on to my story about the 9 tickets that I had so far, all in front of my house. And he goes, that is wild. I've never seen that before. Do you not have like a registration? I'm like, believe it or not, Abu, there's no such thing. There's one sign that says something, and then my landlord helped me figure it out that there's actually a restricted thing. And as soon as we knew that, we got it. So I'm really hoping you can do something for me here. He's like, oh yeah, absolutely. Let me just talk to the big boss. We'll put all these notices in. You can have a seat. I'll call you right back up when we're ready. Is that cool? I'm like, perfect. That's cool. Abu was great. It was like 3 minutes, not even. He goes, Mr. Schwartz, yeah, absolutely. Come back up. It's like, okay, so it looks like we've got all of these in here. What you're going to look to do is we're going to get you to talk to a justice peace right away. I was like, I didn't even ask what my options were. He just knew that this was ridiculous. I still have not. I want you to pay attention. I still have not, because with this type of a thing, you plead guilty or you plead not guilty. I have still not done any of that. He's just moving me right down the line to get these things voided. I'm sitting here going like, this is perfect. This is awesome. So he says, go take a seat over in this other room. They're going to call you. It won't be too long. There's nobody in the room. Okay, so I'm sitting there going, I sit down and like literally 10 seconds in a chair, and he calls me, Schwartz. Yep, I get called into the little chamber room. Homie's just sitting there. And I think I actually did call him homie once, which was a mistake, maybe, but maybe not, because it seemed to drop the defenses down. I was like, yeah, dude, I don't know what to tell you. He's like, I heard, can you explain your story here? I was like, well, I mean, first of all, how's your day been? I mean, you handle all this, and what's been the highlight so far? So I do the same thing with everybody that I meet, because it's a pattern disruption, and it gets them to realize I'm a human on the other side of the counter. It also puts the human into my relationship with them. It's just as important for me, because I want to remember that I'm dealing with another person. No matter how angry I could be at the situation, there's another person on the other side of it. It's not their fault. They're just happening to be the ones that are dealing with it, which is very important. So if you're learning anything from this, if you're still watching this, make other people human. You know, make humans kind again, I think is what David Weck would say. So I sit down. This guy's name's Stu. Great name, Stuart. Stu. He looked like a Stu. It's like he was chilling. He's like, this is kind of ridiculous. And you mean you like? And he was pulling up. He had his laptop. And he's showing me the pictures. I'm like, you mean to tell me that you didn't know that you couldn't park here? I was like, no. I thank you for giving me the opportunity. I haven't said that. I quite clearly know that I did exactly what the ticket says. I'm guilty as charged, 100%. I definitely parked there. What's confusing to me is, how am I, and this is where I give another calibrated question, is like, how am I expected to pay for 10 tickets now, not 9 tickets, of the same thing without even being aware that that was actually a penalty? And then I said, and Stu, I got my landlord to go figure this out as soon as I got the first ticket. And unfortunately, that was into February by the time the city of Calgary got back. But we are all set. We've got the valid permit now. Oh no, I lost me again. This is very interesting. I hope you can still hear me at least. Come on, video. Yeah, we're back. Man, we're gonna have to figure something out. Anyway, so Stu goes, okay, that's great. So you've got your license. Can I see that, or the permit? And I'm like, absolutely. So I had that ready to rock. I sent it through the email last week as well, but I was like, hey, I've got it right here. I'm prepared. I show Stu, my new friend, that we've got the permit. He's like, okay, this is great. So he didn't even hesitate after that. He's like, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw all these out based on, and he gave me, this is the secret sauce, because I said, you're going to throw these all out. And what that did is it wasn't like, oh, yay, me, and the conversation's done. I let him expand. This is art of negotiation. I let him expand. I said, you're going to throw these all out? He's like, yeah. Basically what we're looking for, because I have to write in why I'm throwing 10 tickets out. So if the Calgary Parking Authority goes, why did you throw 10 tickets out for this guy? I have a good reason. You are compliant. You did the thing that you needed to do, so I'm going to throw all of these out for you. I was like, okay. So I got the best piece of information. What's the word I'm looking for? The most useful piece of information at the end of that conversation. He gave me the thing that they're looking for. So if I ever run into this again, I know as long as I show and prove diligence and compliance, I'm good. So that's why I say, I'm like, I can park wherever I want now and just show compliance. Not that I'm not going to abuse the system. I'm just saying, when we're talking about negotiation, if you're able to find out why the decision was made, or why the thought process behind that thing, by giving space and clarity to the person for just letting them share, he felt like what happened there in that moment was he felt proud to be the guy that can be, this is a stupid rule and your person is now compliant, so don't do it again. CPA, that's the Calgary Parking Authority. He wanted to be the guy. He wanted to be the hero. And that's your job, as you're supposed to, especially as a coach or as a musician or somebody who's out there to inspire people. It's not about you. If you're an artist and you're making music and you're worried about getting the venue on the right thing and you want to get fair compensation, we've got to take ourselves out of that for a second and realize that it's for the fan. And when we keep our focus on the person on the other side of, in this case, the glass wall, we're going to get a lot more of what we want anyways. So why is this ridiculously entertaining story applicable to an artist or to a creative or to a health practitioner or to anybody who works with people? Is that your job is to listen first. We got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen first, understand the lay of the land, and then strategically be quick. Know what games you have to play. For me, I used calibrated questions, hows and whats. How am I supposed to pay for fines I was unaware of? What that does is it puts them in my shoes. And then I trailed off, you're going to throw these out, throw them all out? And that's not a question, but it's allowing him space to like, yeah, I am. Here's why. It just naturally feels like that's the next thing. He could have just been like, yep. And then I could be like, okay, peace. He actually went so far to find another ticket on the file and throw it out without even having the copy in front of him. And he's like, you can wait around because we can dig that up. But if you're good with it, I'm like, by all means, there's more important people out here, I'm sure. So I'm happy to get out of your hair. Thank you so much, Stu. And he was happy with that. We made some small talk at the end. It was great. It was an awesome experience. And I hope that when we talk about artists, athletes, health practitioners, coaches, anybody that's front facing, we can start to negotiate more. And the secret, it's not really a secret, but the secret is not actually thinking about you. That's how you get more of what you want. You take yourself out of it and really just listen better, make it more about the other person on the other side, really try to understand. It's what Chris Voss coins tactical empathy. And when you can utilize that to a profound effect, like this was the best experience. Like I've gotten cars with this strategy. I've gotten, like I said, I've gotten on airplanes without an actual seat. Don't know how that worked, but it worked great. I don't know how I'll ever do that again. I did have a ticket, but it was, what's that called? The where you're on standby, and then just strategically waited for my opportunity to go talk to the person, and they really liked me. So they have the opportunity to pick the person that they want to put on there. The angry couple over here who's bitching and moaning, or the nice guy who asked them about their day. You make the decision, right? So that's how I got onto the flight. That was to Hawaii. It was a while ago when I was first studying Chris Voss a few years ago. Anyway, that's my point on the art of negotiation. It's a little bit of understanding how your words can work for you, soft talk, negations, and the what if, the imagination, letting your imagination run wild towards the things that you want in life and all of the good possibilities rather than the doom and gloom over here. The negation, so you're not thinking about all the things that you don't want because that's how your brain works. Don't think about the pink elephant. And soft talk. I think I might want to imagine this. If I walked up, hey, I think I kind of want to talk to you about, he's going to be like, dude, like soft. Stu wouldn't have had any of that. I still have not said anything about what I wanted to do with this. Stu took it upon himself to be the hero and just wipe them off. I didn't even ask. It's fucking awesome. I can swear here, right? It's my show. Anyways, that's the bit. I want to wrap things up because we're coming up to the hour here. 51 minutes of me talking. Wow, I better kombucha, right? Booch, babe. Lindy, my favorite. So good. Music Fit Underground Field Manual. I want to talk a bit about this. A bit. That's soft talk right there. I want to talk about this. Music Fit is an alternate route for the artists who know that there's another way out there to make it in music. This is what I'm reading off of the back here. The industry got louder. The artist got more tired. More content, more pressure, more ways to be seen. Less space to build something that lasts. Most artists, negation acknowledged, don't burn out because they lack talent. They burn out because they inherit a system they were never taught to navigate. This field guide, right here, gives you the language to see it clearly, to understand what you're stepping into, to make better decisions. If you've spent 5 minutes with me, you know how hard I am on decisions, making decisions. Today, this is not perfect, but it's done. And done is always better than perfect. Let me carry on. To build something that actually holds up over time. Inside, you'll find the underground dictionary, the burnout equation, the hierarchy of creative sustainability, the standards behind the rooms. This one is for artists who take their craft seriously, who care about how they live, not just how they look, who plan to be here in 10 years. If that's you, you're already closer than you think. Michael Schwartz, Music Fit Records. So I put this thing together in record time. It's amazing. One of my favorite words of all time. Shout out Tyrone Morales. Lovewise. I don't know if you guys can read that. I'm going to read you Lovewise because that's a good way to sign things off. I am going to be selling these. If you would like to get yourself a copy to help navigate that rock star lifestyle, this is the language. I realize every single movement, we have to start with a shared language. This is the shared language. This is the kind of stuff that, on one side we got load. This is synonymous with stress, okay? The total demand placed on an artist includes physical, emotional, nutritional, chemical, electromagnetic, and thermal stress. Usage. Too much load without capacity leads to breakdown, okay? And we talked about that last week, the burnout equation. Lovewise, to sign off, okay? This is an interjection. You can use this in conversation. It is a way of expressing mutual care, appreciation, or feeling, used as a warmer, more intentional version of me too. So I like to say, Lovewise, my dude. If you learned something, I would really appreciate, whether you're watching this back on replay or if you're live, I would really appreciate sending this out to someone you care about. If you have either yourself or if you know of somebody who would benefit from a more creative life, a more sustainably creative life in particular, I am going around. The reason I wanted to put all of these definitions in is because, very simply put, I can go, oh, we're talking about something that I coined, the dispatch. And this dispatch, oh, come on. My Substack hates me. I really hope that you guys can still hear me, at least while I'm doing that. The dispatch, I just opened the page. It's a fun game. You can just what am I going to learn today? And you don't read this thing cover to cover. You just pick it up, and when you observe something that's happening, oh, fangirl. Fangirl. It's a noun. A person who engages with artists in a way that pulls attention, energy, and focus towards themselves, seeks proximity and validation over contribution to the room or the music. Usage. That energy shifted fast. Felt like fangirl behavior. Things like that, so that you can have a laugh. Because I think taking the piss, as the Aussies would say, is the way to do it. This is not, as you've already noticed, it's not going to be an overnight success. This is something I've been working on for myself over the last 2 decades. So hopefully in another 20 years, we're there and we've got a new established norm for the music industry. So like I was saying, if you know of anybody, especially in the creative arts or specifically in the music industry, who would benefit from picking up one of these, I'm going to have these guys for sale. This was an amazing turnaround. I'm going to print off a bunch of these, do a little short run. I'm going to take some pre-orders. I'll figure out a number on that later today, and I'll post it somewhere on Substack and Instagram and everywhere that you can find me, because I'm all over the place. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Share this out with someone you care about. Love you. Bye.